And to record it, there you go. Yep.
All right, that's what's up.
Yeah, so that's all. But yeah, I just want to kind of teach you that. But yeah, we here at F that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it took us about 30 minutes to get it on point. I think that was a little better than last week. Last week it took about an hour and 25. You know what I'm saying? But I was working. I was doing like a little delivery and stuff like that. Can you hear me good? Does the microphone sound good?
Oh yeah, I hear you perfect. Good? Yeah, I hear you perfect. You hear me good?
Yeah. No, I hear you fine. I hear you just fine. 1 second, man. These people's inboxing me. Right now, I don't got no time to talk to nobody. It's funny too, like when you're trying to like do something like this, like an interview with somebody. Then now I'll say, hey, I want to call your inbox and all that. Like, can't you see I'm talking to somebody? I can't get back to y'all mofos right now, man. But like I said, even though I'm recording it, or even though I set it up, I want you to quarterback it. You know what I'm saying? This is you. This is, I think, you know what I'm saying, you're in a better Peyton Manning role. Let me be Wayne Corbett, whatever, wide receiver.
Okay.
Pause. And we and we just take it from there, man. So let's get it popping, man. From our Facebook side, you're not going to see this. You're only seeing one side of the conversation. I don't know, Devin, you're not streaming anywhere else, are you? Like on YouTube?
No. I was gonna do the Twitter space, but I ain't set it up fast enough, so I just put
yeah. And it's I don't know. It's just too annoying. I think right now, until we really figure out all that stuff out, we should just work with what we know. Yeah, for sure. And even this is even this is a struggle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we struggle. This is the most basic one. And we struggling with this. We hit.
Man, it's an old laptop. This laptop 5 years old too, though. Remember, I got this laptop when we was when we was doing this, the rap review, the comic, the cartoon, or whatever. So I've had this laptop, or as niggas, black people say, laptop. I've had this laptop since 2017. Yeah, man.
Damn, time flew.
I know, man. Yeah. It gets faster and faster. Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it in, man.
All right, so what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about our own personal spiritual journeys and our views on religion, our views on spirituality, our views on God, and our own personal beliefs. But let's just start from the beginning. I first met you when I was 14. You were what, 15?
Actually, we met each other 92, 93.
No, so 90, I was about 92. I was 12. I met you when I was 12. I met you.
Nah, we did because that was 8th grade. I was in 8th grade, so I met you between. Maybe I met. No. We was in the same grade. We was the same grade.
Nah, we was born 12.
We was born the same year. No. Listen, no, your birthday is late in the year. You understand? But I was in 8th grade from 92 to 93. We probably met in 90, but we probably met in 93 towards the end, like graduation, like around that time. But okay. I distinctly remember because we was at Quirk together. Yeah, and I didn't know you in 7th. I know, but I remember you for a fact in 8th because you used to have the Coke bottle glasses, and we used to always talk about comic books and stuff. So So I at the time I was about 14. You was like 13. Yeah. Okay. Because I got you by like 9 months. You know what I'm saying?
True. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I got you about 9 months.
All right. Yeah. When I met you back then, I remember you were just getting started, and you made a real big decision for a young kid. You made the decision to become a Jehovah's Witness. Nobody in your family was a Jehovah's Witness. You had no backup, really. First of all, tell me, how did you even get in that situation? And tell me about the mindset you had within you when you took it upon yourself to make that's a big decision. Now I look back on it, it's a big decision for a kid. How did you have the strength inside you to even make that decision?
Well, as a child, and I think a lot of children go through this, man. I always pondered the universe, and I thought about death, and I was thinking about the concept of death like since I was 5. So you're always searching for answers. My mom's wasn't like really like a real big church goer like that. We would go occasionally, like here and there, but she was pretty open-minded with stuff like that. But it's like every time I would go to church, it just, I don't know, something felt phony about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember one time in particular, it was like, yo, we just call on God. You know what I'm saying? Anything is possible. So I've always had respiratory problems. So I little blowing my nose and stuff. I got a napkin right here right now since I was a little kid. And I remember being in church and a lot of mucus got built up. So it was like, if you call on God, anything's possible. So like I had so much mucus, I snorted it and I tried to swallow. swallow it. I said, God, I was like, God got me. And I like almost threw up in the church. I had to run to the bathroom. So it's like that. It's weird, but that small experience was like, yo, there's something that's BS about this, man. You know what I mean? And I've always had like just a logical, what I thought was a logical mindset with things. I always tried to simplify and make sense out of things, right? And just when I came across the witnesses when I was 12 years old, honestly, I was at a bus stop. I was at a bus stop on Park Street, right next to Parkville Elementary School. Mm-hmm. And I was taking a bus to the North End. That's where we moved from or whatever, to my barber. Because, Black people, even when we little, we go to the same barber. We was like 11 or 12. And there was this witness, I forget his name. I think he died of kidney cancer like 20 years ago. He was a really, really nice guy. And he was on a bus just preaching to people. And the thing that was cool about him is that he was answering questions. Like the one thing I could say about witnesses, even if the answers is contrived, or even if it's made up from their perspective, they're very good and very persuasive at explaining and having conviction in what they believe. Mm-hmm. And they got to answer. They got to answer for virtually everything for a 12-year-old anyway. So he's on a bus, and I'm asking him questions about death. He break it down. I'm asking him questions about heaven. He break it down like just like bam, bam, bam. And I'm 12, like, everything. See, this is the thing. Like a lot of religions and just institutions in general, they love to get you while you're young. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's religion, whether it's prostitution, whether it's military, whether it's drugs, they you know what I'm saying? They try to get you at a young age because your mind is malleable and it's impressionable, and anything makes sense, especially if you make it make sense more so than other. If you don't be like, oh, it's just a mystery, we'll find out someday. Like witnesses don't got that approach. They're like, no, this is exactly what it is. Bang, bang, bang. And it made so much sense. I'm 12 years old. He was like, I can give you a Bible study. What's your number and address? Now me, as a 12-year-old kid, I shouldn't be giving no 30-year-old person my number, even though he's a very, very nice person. Though I got nothing to say. Like I'm very compassionate about people that get caught up in religion in general, because it's not their fault that they got persuaded. You know what I'm saying? They're just looking for answers for the universe. Whatever it is that they're associating themselves with makes sense, and that's what they go along with.
Right.
But anyway, it's easy to swindle and convince a kid. So I gave him my number. I gave him my phone number and stuff like that. The next week, he started my Bible study. And then eventually, I think he was from Rhode Island or something. So eventually, he transferred it to, different witnesses and things of that. And the thing is, my questions are so deep and advanced that they kept having to switch my Bible teachers, because I'll be asking about, I'll be asking about dinosaurs, and like just all kinds of stuff they couldn't really fully explain. So I probably was like one of the only witnesses. I probably had like 8 different Bible teachers though. That's how effed up I had them or whatever. But that's pretty much how I got into it, as a young, impressionable, curious mind that found what he perceived as making sense. But I'm telling you, at that particular time, a Muslim with logic could have approached me. I would have been Muslim. A Catholic with mad logic could have approached me. I would have been Catholic. A drug dealer with mad logic could have approached me. I would have become a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? It just so happens at that formidable time of that impressionable time of my life, those are the individuals that approached me. It made sense. They answered basic Bible questions that I had questions for years. It wasn't even years, because I was only 12. So what? For the 5 or 6 years, I was thinking about religion. Mm-hmm. And that's how I got into it, and it just coincided with my logic, or as you guys would call it, quagic, because you call that my Quinn logic. I will always like try to logically put together shit for my benefit, whatever. Crazy. And that's how I got into it, man. That's how I got into it. And then, like I said, my mother, she was just happy that, I wasn't out on the street and nothing like that. It was something religious. It was on the surface. It was something that was harmless. You know what I'm saying? Coming to find out years later, it's very destructive. You know what I mean? But in a passive way. But that's how I got into it, man.
Okay. Now, let me ask this question. What did because as a kid, sometimes we make decisions based on logic and reason. But as kids, mostly our decisions are based on emotion. Emotionally, what did they provide? Were you lonely and they offered you companionship, or was it like you were nervous and they offered you like something reassuring?
I knew I was going through stress and bullies and things of that nature, but when it came to that, it wasn't like I was running towards the religion for an escape. Because, like I said, even before the bullying, before all of that, I've always pondered like the universe and what happens when we die, and can we live forever and things of that nature. So they were answering like questions that I had, that other religions didn't really answer or attempt to or didn't answer in a way that made sense to me. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't pushed towards it because of trauma. Yeah. I was drawn to it, but it wasn't like something traumatic. Like, oh, I'm going through some bad shit. So let me be religious. Nah, I had questions about death in the universe, and they were giving me answers that made sense to me about death in the universe. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, I'm a rock with this, you know?
Okay. All right. So let me ask this question real quick and we'll move on. When you were a kid, were you said your mom wasn't really religious, but
nah.
Did she raise you with a kind of a basic Christian framework? Or was kind of like
basic, God, Jesus,
okay.
Holy Spirit, you know what I mean? The basic tenets that most young Black kids in America from the South are taught or indoctrinated with. Yeah, that basic stuff, but she was never really super religious. She's more religious now that she's older, but I think a lot of people become more religious like the closer they get to their transition date. You know what I'm saying? I think that's just a natural process. Like, you want something to give you comfort, knowing that this reality is going to end. You know what I'm saying? No, not this reality, but your physical existence in this reality is going to, I don't even like using the word end. I think that's the wrong term. I think, and we'll get into that later. But the reality that you're experiencing is going to transform into something else, and you don't really know what it is. So you get you get kind of nervous. You know what I'm saying? You get a little anxious, so you want to adhere to something. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't say the question. I'm getting away from it myself.
No, you're doing good. You're doing good.
Yeah.
Because I want to ask you another question anyway.
All right, go to the next question. Yep.
So you're young, you make the decision to become a Jehovah's Witness or at least become a part of the culture. What was that like going from Quinn not a Jehovah's Witness to Quinn being a Jehovah's Witness? What was your first impression?
Well, the thing is, I never was fully a Jehovah's Witness, meaning I was never baptized, but I was heavily, you grew up with me and stuff, so I was heavily influenced as far as going to the meetings, as far as my friends within that particular organization, as far as the majority of my mentors was young men like Roy Forrest. At the time when I met Roy Forrest, Roy was born in 69. So Roy was 10 years older than me, or 68, something like that, like 11 years older than me. So I'm 13. My mentor was a 24-year-old cat who, looking back on it, he ain't know shit about the world. But he knew a little bit more about the world than I did. And that was my mentor. But it's like, it was basically just like a kid teaching a kid. So, I appreciate like the lessons and things of that nature, but something inside me, I never really felt like I was a part of it. After a while, I was just a kid, just going through the motions, following and trying to live to the standards of what older people were telling me to live for. But it's crazy because years later, you find out all the stuff they tell you not to do, whether it's drugs, whether it's having sex, or, you know what I'm saying, or lying, whatever. You find out they was just doing the same thing. You know what I mean? But they are lording themselves over you to make themselves feel better. But in reality, they doing the same thing, if not worse. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't getting no buns when I was 13 or 14.
Yeah.
But a lot of my mentors
it's easy when they be like, don't hit no ass. And you like 14, you're not hitting no ass anyway. So
yeah.
I can do that. I've been doing that. No problem.
Been doing that. But it sucks because they'll tell you, oh, you can't date, or they say you can date, but it has to be a sister in the congregation or whatever, and you got to do field service, which is good logic. But if you don't really feel like you're truly like a witness like that, it's a catch-22 because you don't feel good enough for the quote unquote spiritual girl because you ain't doing enough. As far as like your spiritual duties, like field service, which is going door to door and talking to people and preaching and going to meetings and stuff like that. But at the same time, you can't mess with no worldly chick, a chick that's not in the religion, because that's a big no-no. That's evil. And then even out there, you try to do your thing. The worldly chick find out you a religious cat, and that turns most of them off too. So you got the worldly chicks not feeling you because you're too spiritual to them, and then you got the spiritual chicks not feeling you because you're too worldly for them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got years of just confusion and not even really knowing how to talk to women like that, or not even really knowing how to socialize with the opposite sex, because you're getting demonized just for being like boy. Being a man. It's like, yo, just because I'm 13 or 14, I'm going to smash a chick. I got demonized so many times getting phone numbers and just trying to talk and just being a self. So what that creates is now you're being secretive. Oh, I can't tell nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm being secret. And when you put a lid on sexuality and things of that nature, when you cap it, that's when people start doing deviant things. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's well, pedophilia. I'm not saying that's me, but I'm just giving you examples of
Right.
different pedophilia, or whether it's prostitution or buying hookers, or you know what I'm saying, rape. You know what I'm saying? All kinds of things, like sexuality is one of the things. If you put a lid on it and make it and demonize it and make it, you know what I'm saying, seem like it's something evil. When you put a lid on a fountain, or you put a lid on a hose with a plastic bag, what happens is the bag fills up with water, emotions. What's going to happen? Eventually explode. And you got all those deviant things, whether it's prostitution, pedophilia, rape, molestation, like, you know what I'm saying, or sexual depravity, or all kinds of drug use, all kinds of crazy things, man. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. So, so I could see that from the very beginning, or it seems from the very beginning, you felt out of place and there was tension there. Because even you describing it right now, there's a lot of emotional energy coming out, a lot of tension coming out now.
Yeah,
you still feel like that? You still feel like all those, that sense of being out of place affects you still to this day?
Yeah, definitely. I think it just affects my relationship, because, you know, when you're depraved for so long, like I left the religion. I officially left the religion when I was 22.
Okay.
But I stopped doing my Bible study at 18. I remember Roy came through, and I had it in my mind. I said, I'm done. I can't do this, because I almost got baptized. And once I started going through the questions, like, I realized I couldn't go through this shit, though. So I told Roy, I was like, man, I'm a grown man right now. You know what I'm saying? Even though I was 18, I was still a kid. I said, I'm grown. And I said, I feel like, yo, I need a friend more than I need a mentor with this religious stuff, yo. And he was like, all right. And that was the beginning of the ending. But it definitely affects my relationships, because sex, it was demonized so long. And then when I finally started having it at 19 or 20, you know, I'm making wrong decisions, and you know, saying, as far as like people I'm sleeping with and stuff like that. When you deprave somebody for so long and they finally get something, they gorge. It's like if you starving for a long ass time, right? And then all of a sudden you go into a buffet. You hungry, you gonna gorge, and like you like whatever. I don't care if it's high carbs, whatever, or it's like going to the grocery store while you hungry. When you're hungry, you're gonna grab a whole bunch of shit.
Kind of dumb shit.
Yeah, you know, like you're literally grabbing it on some impulsive shit, and that same thing happens on depravity. When you sexually deprive somebody and then they finally get something. I'm not even saying on a criminal level, but like, you might finally get some buns with like a beautiful chick, and then you bust in like 20 seconds because you're just trying to, oh my God, I gotta get it out. I haven't had it. You know what I'm saying? So when you have all that, when you deprive somebody, or you don't properly educate a person on these things, you know, I feel like they tend to make worse decisions when they get older. And I've made a ton of poor decisions as a direct result for me just being a part of that religious organization. And like, I'm not going to just say, oh, witnesses is the only ones responsible for effing people up mentally when it comes to relationships. Other religions too. Anytime any religion demonizes something that's natural and that's human, when people finally experience it, they're so scarred and they're so jaded, they're just going to take it however they want. You know what I'm saying? Or they're going to do whatever it is the hell they want to do in an irresponsible way. So it definitely affects me to this day, man. Yeah.
All right. So my question is, okay, you were a Jehovah's Witness, then you left that behind. So when you left that behind, was that based upon your sexual desires and you wanted to explore, or was there like a theological part of that you wasn't feeling? Was it like, okay,
it wasn't because it's not. It wasn't because of sexual desires. Because it's like you could become a bona fide witness and get married, and you can have your sex taken care of. So it's not like sex wasn't something I couldn't get. You know what I mean? Or if you want to creep and do the thing on the low, it's just I didn't want to be a hypocrite. Once I got to give credit, man. And I used to talk about this dude all the time back in college. You remember the name as soon as I said. Matter of fact, he on my Facebook. My boy Seaweed.
Yeah.
You remember the dude Seaweed? I used to talk, yo.
Yeah, you always talk about Seaweed.
Seaweed, he got a weird ass name on Facebook now. I'll link y'all cats, but really, really deep spiritual brother, man. When I met him, we used to debate and go back at it. I used to hold my own, but he was a 5%er. You know what I'm saying? He the one that really put me onto that stuff. And we were just sitting on the roof on a roof on Burnap, like, you know what I'm saying? My dorm on Burnap. Me, Seaweed, and Terrence Bordeaux. We used to always talk spiritual stuff. And back then, you know, I was in the Raz Kaz. I was into the Boogie Monsters, like real esoteric rappers. So like the truth, like little elements of what I call truth was in the music. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what helped me strip me from the religion too. Just listen to that. But when you hear Razkaz talk about like the 16 crucified saviors and things of that nature, you hear about the Boogie Monsters talking about all the spiritual stuff, whatever. And a lot of these spiritual things is similar to what Jehovah's Witnesses talk about too. Right. That's why we like those rappers so much. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like the Boogie Monsters just talk about Jehovah and all that shit. Yeah, we thought they was Jehovah's Witnesses for a while.
Yeah, we did at one point. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Razkaz like one day I might just become a Jehovah's Witness. You know what I'm saying? So, but talking to Seaweed and
just the like impersonation hilarious, by the way.
I might just become a Jehovah's Witness. But just listening to Seaweed like rock with a lot of the music I rocked with, and just like a lot of his spiritual ideas, like he just opened my mind up to see. He just opened my mind up to like ancient Kemet and all this different stuff, and it was hard for me to break it because, like I said, I was indoctrinated by the witnesses at the time for like 6 or 7 years as a kid. So it was hard to break it, but something inside of me was telling me like, yo, it's something beyond all this BS, man. And just different classes in astronomy and things of that nature, man. Eventually, like just being in college just stripped it. That's one of the reasons why back then witnesses would always suggest that people don't go to college, because they know there's just so many different minds. You can't, you're no longer in that witnessy echo chamber. You can hear different religious beliefs and different possibilities and different cultures and things of that nature. And just being in college, that's and Seaweed, that's the main guy. That's what broke me from it, man. That's what broke me from it, man. He was the right catalyst. Like I thank him to this day. You know what I'm saying? I know even after breaking from the religion, I've been through a lot of struggles and tribulations and things of that nature. But you know what? I wouldn't change that. If I had to change that and just be like a church-minded dude and never go do no problems in life or whatever, I'd rather be who I am right now, man, than that mindset. Personally, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Yeah. So when you get introduced to these things, did you get the temptation? Because I got the temptation. Once you leave the Jehovah's Witnesses, you get tempted to go join something else. Were you tempted to go become a 5% or anything?
No, nope, no. If I've learned anything, man, and this is my religion and my mindset, it's not about adhering to one thing or one religion or one belief, man. It's about taking elements from everything that's beneficial. You know what I'm saying? You take the meat and you leave the bones. If whatever it is that you believe in or that you adhere to is destructive to yourself, you know, in a negative way, like building up muscles is destructive to fat. That's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? But if it's just like a destructive to your health and your well-being, and it turns you into a nasty, judgmental person, putting down people, and like to the point where you want to murder people because they don't believe in what you believe in, nah, I can't rock with that. And I I believe so-and-so, and you're gonna die. So even if you're not murderous with whatever it is you believe, but if you have this hope that you're gonna live, or like you meaning me, and you're gonna die, that's still murderous.
Right.
That's passive aggressively murderous.
Right. You're right.
So if the religion has you having that type of mindset of I'm gonna live, you're gonna die, I can't wait, I can't rock with it. And that's like what 99% of religions on earth.
Right.
Besides like Buddhism and like Zen and shit, which is more I'm more on, but you know, we talk more about that later. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, gotcha. So have there ever been like what's the most fascinating spiritual tradition you came across where you felt like, you know, this might be like a home for me? Or what spiritual traditions have you studied where you felt like kind of makes sense? I'm gonna take this piece, I'm gonna take that piece.
Like I said, just elements of Buddhism, elements of Zen. You know what I mean? Like, because a lot of those religions, like they believe in some type of reincarnation or whatever you do now, you know what I'm saying, manifests in different realities. Like I like that mindset. You know, I like the idea of you know what I mean? If I change my thoughts in this reality, that can affect other realities. Because you know what, the one commonality, that all religions have is that you can't really prove it. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, you can't prove anything, man. Ultimately, it comes down to an opinion and what you believe. And like I said, as long as my opinions and beliefs aren't destroying myself and destroying other people's, then that's what I rock with. But I just lean towards philosophy. The great philosopher Alan Watts Alan Watts, that's like the main, like besides Seaweed, once I really got to Alan Watts, he passed like in like 1973, but he's an Eastern philosopher, but he explains Eastern religion in like Western like terms and ways and things of that nature. But you know what I'm saying? Like as long as it's not passive aggressively trying to destroy anybody else, man, that's what I rock with. I try to take elements from everything, whether it's Hebrew Israelites, Islam, Zen, Buddhism, Baha'i, Catholics. They all have something. They all have good elements in it. They all have definitely have some good elements that can be of use to yourself and to others. But when you get into this box where it's only this and it can't be anything else, and everything else is going to be destroyed, and it's only this, and it's like that doesn't make any sense. Like no star is the same, right? No blade of grass is the same. You know what I'm saying? No raindrop is the same. No snowflake is the same. Nothing in you is there's variety in universe in all things, man, on an infinite level. So why the fuck does that stop just with a spiritual belief or your concept of what God is? You know what I'm saying? Maybe God manifests in different ways, depending on what type of culture that you're in. You know what I'm saying? So that it's something recognizable to you, so that it's something that you can adhere to. Right, you know what I mean?
I think that you said something interesting. You said that a lot of times people's concept of the truth is based upon their personal opinions. But also, I will add to that as well, it's based on your personal opinions and also sometimes your experiences.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any, I would say, quote unquote, spiritual experiences? Have you ever seen a ghost or been into a state of higher consciousness or anything of that nature?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All the time now. You know what I'm saying? I see spiritual things. Maybe it could be a manifestation of my mind. I felt the paralysis, you know what I'm saying, with something holding you or whatever. But yeah, I've experienced these things. I mean, because think about it. All around you right now, there's gamma rays. There's this broadcast right here. There's invisible shit that's constantly happening. You know what I'm saying? Things that we have the technology to measure.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 100 years ago, nobody knew anything about gamma, or however when it was invented. Nobody knew about gamma rays and radio waves and theta and all that stuff, but it still existed. They just didn't have the technology. Once they developed the right technology, they were able to measure those things. But this is technology within the past 100 years. Technology is going to get more advanced.
Right.
More things are going to be seen and be discovered. So just because you don't see it, it doesn't mean it's not here. We proved that. We can't even see the air, but we have the technology and things of that nature to measure these things. You know what I'm saying? But 100, like I said before, not to reiterate, but I'm reiterating for a purpose. 100 years ago, we didn't have that technology. Now we do. How much more advanced is the technology going to get so that we can prove these spiritual things? I think they said when a person dies, they have some type of quantum tool to measure the weight. And as soon as a person dies, the weight drops like 0.00000 something, like 0.8 or some shit. Yeah, and they said that's the soul. They did some theorized that's the soul. Like, so they figured out a measure, you know what I'm saying? They figured out a way to measure the soul. And that's just on a small level. What happens when that technology gets better, where they can actually see like some type of digital image or something like that? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
There's actually an institution that specifically kind of works with that. It's called the Institution of Noetic Sciences or something like that, where they do experiments where they'll actually kill somebody.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
Scientific snuff.
Yeah, they'll like kill. I heard. I mean, I don't know if they'll medically like put you in a state where you're like medically dead, and then they'll rearrange the room or something like that. Right. And then like after they rearrange the room, they'll put it back and they'll ask you if you could sense, or if some kind of spirit or something could see what they were doing.
Hey, don't mind me. I had to clear my freaking.
It's all good.
Man, since I was little, man. But yeah, I've definitely, I got a video, like an old video of me doing a poem right here in this room. It's like almost like 8 years ago. And you see like a like what looks like I got a candle lit, but it looks like a face. And I'm saying my poem, and the face is just moving around, bopping his head to the shit. Yo. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's on YouTube. But yeah, I put it up, but people sweating, people just blow it off like it ain't nothing. Like, yo, it's like I'm shadow banned, man. I could discover the cure for AIDS, and I will get like 5 views, man. But you know what though? You gotta, on this YouTube stuff, even if you're not getting follows like you want, you still gotta keep putting out the content. You still gotta keep cranking it out. But I get in my feels, like, you know what I'm saying, when I make some great art or discovery and like nobody cared. Yeah, but
I put up content where I was going in, like, damn, the energy felt right. I'm saying some powerful spiritual stuff, and then I go back and look at it, it'd be like 0 views. I'm like, damn, I just dropped.
All you got is one view. No, all you got is one like.
Yeah, all I got is one like.
Yeah, but you know what? We got to help each other out with that. Between me, you, Ant, like, that's 3 of us right there. We all share it. We done shoot. If I share the 3 people, you share the 3 people, and share the 3 people, that's 9 people right there. You feel me? So that we got to use each other, man, from the ground up, grassroots, man. We'll get on. We got something to say, man. We got some really good things. It's chicks that literally just, her whole shtick is eating watermelon and putting various condiments on watermelon and acting crazy. Like, she'll put a mustard on a watermelon, like, oh shit. And she'll just like bash her head on the fucking table. 1 million views. That's it. Like,
is that real?
Real. I will send you the link. Real. Yes, every video is her eating watermelon with peanut butter, mayonnaise, and just making some kind of crazy thing, and she wound up knocking herself out and falling out. It's funny, like, the concept is funny, it's original, but it's like, yo, that could blow up. Everybody want to see that, but nobody want to hear about this spiritual deep stuff, man. Look at the background. It's space in the background, man. Look what's back there, bro. It's the universe, man. Yeah.
All right, so let's get even deeper. Let's go even deeper.
Yeah, let's go deep. Matter of fact, hold up. How did I convince? Let me ask you, because this is both of us. How the hell was I able to influence you? Like, you know what I'm saying? What was it about me that made you want to rock with it? You feel me?
Yeah. When I was a kid, I went to church, but I was like, I'm one of them people, and you know this about me. If I'm in all the way. So I was 9 years old, going to church all the time. You know, without my mother having to prompt me, nothing. I get up, iron my clothes, have my little suit on, be up in church. I started noticing the same thing. You were noticing that it was kind of like hypocritical. There was a lot of people in there who were great people, wonderful people. Then you had some people who were just old and bitter and angry, and gossiping was going on. And I was like,
fashion show.
Yeah, fashion show. I see people come in with huge stacks of books trying to show off and wouldn't open that one stack of books. So you got a Bible concordance, Bible dictionary, and you ain't looking up none of this stuff. So
right.
Yeah, so after a while, it got to the point where I was so just turned off by it. And I kind of started feeling like out of place there. The same way you felt out of place, I felt out of place there as well. And then you just came along at the perfect time. And also you really knew your stuff. You knew stuff about the Bible I didn't know. My church education wasn't as thorough as far as research as my education from Jehovah's Witnesses. So you really came, you were really passionate, really excited. I never met nobody who was as excited about that kind of stuff as you. And you're another one of them individuals. When you in, you all the way in. That's why when you're in, you hyper focus. So you knew all these scriptures I never knew. You knew a whole perspective I never knew, and you were thorough. You know what I mean? You were thoroughly educated. Whereas me, I knew the Psalms. I like the Bible. The Bible was like the greatest hits. You know what I mean? That's what I knew.
Yeah.
Psalm 23.
Yeah. Of course. I knew the whole album though.
Yeah. You knew the whole album. I knew the greatest hits. So I was really impressed with how thorough your knowledge was, how energetic you was, how passionate you was, and like you would never back down. No matter what, you never back down. You represented it all the way. And then you know how like when you're speaking to somebody, you're giving them the truth, giving them information. After a while, people's brain get exhausted. Like, all right, that's enough for now. You never got to that point. You just keep going. I'd be like, yeah, well, whatever. I'll try to brush it off. You would just keep going. Never stop. Okay. This dude is breaking stuff down in a way I'd never seen before. I'd never seen nobody that young with that much information and that much passion on it, man.
Yeah, man, I loved it. And the thing is, because the reason why I think me, you, Jay, Anthony, and Muncho, I think the main reason why, it's gonna sound funny, but let me finish. The main reason why we all got sucked in, because we love comic books. Let me explain. The story, and I remember it to this day, the story that pretty much got, Muncho was the hardest one to get into it, but like you and Jemiah, the story that got you, when I started describing Armageddon, and when I started describing all the crazy shit like war in the streets, blood in the streets, angels cutting people, it sounded like a fucking comic book. You know what I'm saying? And how we're gonna be surviving. Like it's like touching God. You know what I'm saying? It's when they turn on God's people, it's like touching his eyeball. What happens when somebody touch your eyeball? You flinch immediately. Like I had the fucking analogies down packed, but when I was describing that, and then someone was gonna get tortured, but like if you get tortured, that's a good thing because that means you guarantee you're gonna survive. So I'm describing all this like this cataclysmic apocalyptic shit. So I think I kind of low key scared y'all into that shit a little bit. And like the images was vivid and like they was fascinating, but like, yo, but we don't gotta worry about it because if we're on the right side, that means we're gonna live forever. Like once all this shit happening, it's about to, and they're millennialists, Jehovah's Witnesses. So it's always on next 6 months. They've been saying that shit since like the past 20 years. Cause back then they used to say, because this is like 92, 1994, they used to say people that were alive in 1914 will experience the end of the world. Now at the time, people from 1914 was about 80 years old. So we're thinking, oh, you can't even live that long. Oh, this shit about it. So that was another driving force too. With that logic, with the Armageddon stories, where damn, we only got about 20 years left. We need to get on point. So they really, I'm willing to believe, like in the mid to early 90s, they got a lot of recruits because of that shit, because of that 1914 shit. Now, once the people that from 1914 started talking 80, 95, 100 years old, they had to change it. Those older generations overlap. So it's like people from the 19, you know what I'm saying? They hedged their bets or whatever. But that's what really got.
No, I was about to say it's crazy too how like now that we're older and them numbers mean something now. Like if you study Freemasonry and you study the Nation of Islam, that number 9, they all talk the same thing about 1914 being a specific. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad taught about 1914 being the year where the devil will be revealed and all of that stuff. All those dudes, Charles Taze Russell, most honorable Elijah Muhammad, all them religious dudes, those all
Masons,
Freemasons,
all Masons.
Masons. That's why a lot of them came from the same. They was drawn from the same well.
Yeah, but they just kind of they split and branched off because Charles Taze Russell was actually started Seven Day Adventist. If you look up, if you look up 7 Day, they start. That's what he started as. You know what I'm saying? If you look up 7 Day Adventists, like their religious beliefs are almost identical to Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh wow.
Almost identical. Identical. Look them up like side by side, and I think Charles Taze Russell, I think he has some affiliation with Mormons too. Well, they all come from Millerites. Millerites, like it's like Millerites, Mennonites, Quakers, Amish, you know what I'm saying? Pennsylvania religions, like all that stuff comes from that sect, that from Protestant, I mean, and ultimately Christianity in general in America comes from Protestant, which was they broke off from the Catholics because they didn't like how the Catholics was doing, so that's why they broke off and they came to America, and then they split and they made their sects in America, whatever. But yeah, it all comes from that shit. But I think like our comic book mindset and our vivid imaginations, and I was just really, really good at just describing what's going on. I got y'all with fear, the combination of fear and hope, but that's just what they taught me, and it made sense to me, and that's how I got y'all. I was roping up a lot of you, Muncho, Devin. Almost got mad like when he was like 22, but at the time, like my mind was starting to leave it though. You know what I'm saying? Right. But yeah, my boy Gio was about to get into it. Like a lot of people, man. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. So let's go a little deeper now. So what are your beliefs about what is God now? Define what that is.
I think ultimately God is every single last one of us, man. I think we are all small physical manifestation of what God is. I think there's no beginning, and I think in order for reality to exist, things have to have always had been, because you can't get something from nothing. You know what I'm saying? They say energy can't be created nor destroyed. Like that's something that we can agree upon. You know what I'm saying? So why can't that just apply to all things? I think that in order to, and this is just my own personal belief, I don't know how true this is, but from a logical standpoint, in order to make something not become boring, you have to make yourself forget. And I think like the whole process of childbirth and just restarting over and having that fresh start makes reality not boring. I think if we always constantly remembered every single thing and every single detail that happened to us like through eternity, I think eternity would be miserable. That's why we always constantly rebirth ourselves, you know what I'm saying, to go through that process again, you know what I'm saying, to go, I don't know if you want to call it reincarnation, you know what I mean, or what have you, like, you know what I mean, and you'll make jokes like, in this world I'm a man, maybe in another existence I'm a female, and then the niggas like, yo, you gay, like, and that's just immature people. But who's to say? Like, who knows? I mean, that's just my personal belief. But that's what I think it is. Like, if you look at like the 16 crucified saviors, the 16 major throughout history, major historical figures, like I forget what's the guy from Mexico. It's Quetzalcoatl, Kemet, Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad. The one thing they all have in common is they all came to some type of spiritual enlightenment. They all tried to preach to a whole bunch of people. They all got persecuted for whatever it was they believe in, and they all got destroyed. They all got killed. You know what I'm saying? And then they all got resurrected and came back as something better. Mm-hmm. And if you really, really think about it, is that not what almost damn near every single human being is going through on Earth in some type of way, shape, form, or fashion?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? We go through some type of, and now I'm not saying like we all have like this quote unquote happy ending in this particular physical world. And a lot of people, it's like the Matrix. A lot of people don't even know they're in the Matrix. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't even know that they're going through. They just think, hey, life is what it is. I can't control it. I'm about to die. It's just whatever. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But nah. I feel like I feel like we put ourselves in this. We individually, we each put ourselves in this position. Whatever position you're in, you put yourself in, and it's like a video game. That's another thing I'm trying to do to improve my life. I keep just trying to say it's like a video game, yo. You know what I'm saying? You play like a role playing game. You build up your experience. You build up your tools. You get the proper weapons. Like some of the parts is like mad tedious and traveling and stuff like. But you do it because you know you're gonna get better weapons and better things and better powers. Mm-hmm. Why can't you apply that same concept to life, yo?
It's true.
You could apply it. It's a video game. Like the frustration and the struggle of just trying to set this up. And I could have easily like, yo, damn, I'm too frustrated, man. Like, I could have easily said that, but I was like, nah, you know what? This is, for whatever reason, this is the experience I have to go through for whatever reason. What can I take from that? Let me show some little perseverance or whatever. And we're still doing better this week than last week. So it's an improvement. So
that's true.
I just look at life as a video game. How are you going to play this? And do you want to win? You know what I'm saying? And just, I think if you have the mindset that you put yourself in this position in life, and whether you want to say from a spiritual level, or you could say if you like 40, like you're 42, we both 42. Mm-hmm. You're 42 years old. You made it to this point. You are here, wherever you are, sitting in this chair in this life because of all the decisions that you consciously made. Yes, there's certain things that were out of your control through life. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, 98% of the reason why you are in this very chair is because of the decisions that you made in life. So if you want different things to happen moving forward in life, then you have to augment and make different decisions. Mm-hmm. It's honestly, it's really that simple, yo. You know what I'm saying? So that's my religion. Like, if I want different things in life, I just got to make different decisions, man. Like, period. So yeah.
Do you think if you believe that all of us are manifestations of God, do you feel that we're required to have some kind of spiritual practice or some kind of spiritual rules that govern our lives? Okay, gotcha.
Yes. Now, and it's a song by James Taylor. I think you put me on to. It's called Woodstock.
Yep.
And he says we are star children, right? Mm-hmm. And scientists have also discovered that the same matter that composes stars is pretty much almost identical to which composes human beings. Mm-hmm. And what's the star's main purpose? To shine. Right. So your main purpose is shine. Whatever you define as shine. If you want to be the best cupcake maker in the world, that's how you shine it. The best rapper in the world, or the best rapper that you be, that's how you shine it. You know what I'm saying? But if you have some type of talent or some type of ability or some type of like influence, and you're not using it, I think that's what the sin is.
Right.
Not showing, not shining. That ultimately, like, yeah, you got like sins like murder and stuff like that. But I'm going beyond that shit, yo. You know what I'm saying? I'm going beyond that, because we all gonna die. You feel me? Or we're all gonna transform or whatever. But like ultimately, my religion is, or what I think spirituality is shining as much as possible. If you're not shining, just being lazy, like you know how to play the piano real good, but you don't ever want to show nobody, keep it to yourself. Mm. To me, that's sinning. That's a sin right there. You know?
Yeah. So you think?
And how I shine was through my arts, through my performance. comedy, stand-up, that's how you shine with the wellness initiative and meditation and you know what I'm saying, being a guru or shaman of such and teaching young kids. That's how you shine. Everybody, we all shine in different ways. See, and that's the thing about religion though. See how we all shine in different ways and we all have different talents and different things that we bring to the table. But why the hell we all got to follow the same religion? That's the only thing where it's like we got to only do this, but I could do this. I could be a fireman, I could be a plumber, I could be you know what I'm saying, a pilot, but I got to follow God this way. Like what? That's crazy to me, yo. That's insane.
I know that and other cultures like that our concept of God is relatively new. And other cultures they use other terms like like Orisha or Genin or whatever. And like their whole idea of God, or like in Japan, they don't even have a word for God. They call it kami. Kami could mean the spirit. You know what I mean? So all these other cultures have different concepts of God. Our concept is one God.
You said kami?
Kami, Kami. That's how
I thought you was talking about our mortal enemies in the 80s, man. The commies, man. Damn Ruskies, damn commies with their sickles, with their little hammer and sickle and red and yellow. Are those guys Chinese or they're Russian? I can't tell. But no, go ahead. I'm sorry, man. You know I'm gonna throw some jokes every now and again.
Of course. Like, so our concept of God is relatively new. And before we had Islam, before we had Christianity, people had like the word God comes from a German word Gott, which means to call forth. You know what I mean? So
or like gold too. That gold.
Yeah.
Means to call forth. Yep.
Oh,
I didn't even know that. That's dope. Yeah. Oh shit.
And crazy thing about it is the fact that the word God is relatively new. So our God concept is relatively new. It doesn't really like we've been on the planet for millions of years. Some say billions of years. Some say trillions.
Yeah. We was always here, man.
Yeah, but it's
always here.
Yeah, that concept of God that we operating under is a relatively new idea of a new idea for us. We've been programmed with an idea that's relatively new.
Yeah,
and our ideas about God are not even as old as we are. That's the crazy part.
Damn, that's deep, man. And I think like I think we all have this like this potential to find some spirit. Don't you think it's kind of miraculous, like how guys like Joe Smith, who he started the Mormons. I forget the lady from the Seventh-day Adventists. He's Elizabeth something, or Charles Taylor, like you know what I'm saying, like people that or Buddha. Like how the hell was they able to write like thousands of pages like off the dome like that? Yo? That's crazy, man. Right? To think about it, you know, and it can go back and reference itself. Like to me, that's spectacular. Like, that's some spiritual shit, man. You know, it probably did come from the ether, and there were spiritual things. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe they didn't fully understand it, but like I said, the problem came when they got that quote unquote message. And then started suggesting that others be killed that not adhere to the message. Right. That's where the problem came. They could have simply said, you know what, this came to me, you know, I'm not 100% sure if it's true. This is how I feel. If you want to rock with it, cool, let's rock with it.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, this came to me. I'm the man. Listen to God, die. That's the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about it is that even if you look at some of the more aggressive, quote unquote, aggressive religions, like you look at Islam, like I've been studying Islam for a while now.
Yeah.
And throughout the history of Islam, it was very tolerant. Islam was very tolerant.
Say it again.
I said Islam was
okay.
Back in the
no, I heard you.
You look at Islamic history, there were certain points of Islam where, of course, they wanted people to convert to their religion, but at the same time, they allow other people to practice what they want to practice and do what they want to do. There's even scriptures in the Quran that say, hey, I'll practice my religion, you practice yours. And then people would take it and create these new sects of Islam, these new concepts of Islam. And it was like, okay, this is the only one. And anybody who practices anything different, we got to penalize them, we got to punish them. But that wasn't how it always was. Even with Christianity wasn't like that. But when people took these religions and took the spirituality out of it and wanted to make it political, that's when shit always hit the fan.
It's easy to control people that are religious minded. You give them this far, you got billions of people that believe in. I don't want to call it bullshit, but you got billions of people that believe in bullshit, man. But it's not even about it's not about believing in bullshit, but you have billions of people that's willing to cause harm. You know what I'm saying? Or even think passive aggressively. I'm gonna live, you're gonna die. Like I said, that's still a passive aggressive murderous mindset. You got billions of people that have that damn mindset. So basically, when you institute some type of like religious some type of religious concept, and you quote unquote are answering questions for people that you're answering like things that people have been pondering for years. That's what's gonna happen when I die. Oh, this is why X, Y, Z. Oh, this is where this came from. Okay, I'm about to rock with you. I'm about to give you my money. I'm about to fuck with you because you're answering questions that I had. That's how I became a witness. Because it was answering questions that I thought I had.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or it was answering questions that I had or whatever. Or it was doing what I thought was answering questions that I had. You understand what I'm saying? So they got a soldier in me because of that. And then I got you. Then I got Jemiah. Then I got Muncho. Then I got Anthony. And that's just a microcosm of what happens with various religions throughout the world. You know what I'm saying? You have this older figure or this person that quote unquote has a little more life experience than you. They give you all these quote unquote answers. It makes sense. So now you're indebted to him. You follow him. You know what I'm saying? And he start having this passive aggressive murderous mentality and his holier than thou, I'm above you mindset, yo. Yeah, man.
True. Let me ask this question. You were saying that there's millions of people that have that murderous mindset, but for the most part, mathematically, most of the individuals who engage in religion don't engage in that violent religious war stuff.
No, you didn't hear me. You didn't hear me.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said passive aggressive murderous mindset.
Okay.
Meaning I'm about to live, you're gonna die. Which I'm saved. So that attitude. I'm gonna live. Oh, you ain't into it. You're going to hell. You know how many Christians think that way?
A lot.
Yeah, that's dude. That's still a murderous mindset. It's just passive.
You're right.
Maybe I'm using wrong terms.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm using the wrong term or not. But you get what I'm trying to say.
No, I get what you're trying to say.
You think you're better than somebody else. You think somebody else is going to die because, matter of fact, you know somebody else is going to die because they don't believe what you believe. That's a murderous mindset, yo.
True. Let me ask this question. I was contemplating this one day. You think religion is necessary because people without direction tend to be violent and fight over resources? Do you think religion is necessary to keep savages calm? And I'm not saying everybody's savages, but do you think it's a valuable tool?
I think structure is necessary in general.
Right.
I think structure. You need certain things. You need like certain elements and certain laws for the universe to work just in general, and that not just religion, beyond religion. Right. I think religion can serve as a positive benefit, but like I said, when people become too fanatical and they think theirs is the only way, and some people manifest that murderous mindset to actual murder and control, I think that's when it's a problem. But I think there has to be some type of structure, like obviously like the Code of Hammurabi, which predates the Bible by what, a few thousand years. You know what I'm saying? You know, it said you mustn't kill. You mustn't steal. You mustn't do that. Like the Bible still, like they plagiarized that whole shit, man. So there's definitely I think this is universal laws that are needed, but that's to me that's beyond religion. That's just reality. You know what I'm saying? So I think you don't need religion. I mean, religious leaders would like you to believe you need religion. You know what I'm saying? Because it serves their bottom line.
Right.
But you do need some type of structure. You do need some type, but that's not really. I think once we start calling religion, that's when people kind of pervert it. But I think it's just common sense. Like I feel like every single human being on earth, man, you have this natural thing inside of you. When you're doing something that's good for you, you know it's good. You ain't worried about it. When you're doing something, you know you shouldn't be doing it. In the back of your mind, you know this might go wrong. Something might happen. X, Y, Z. But fuck it, I'm gonna still do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? But no, you don't need religion for. You don't need religion for order. It helps to an extent, but people just they just take it too far. And like I said, they just develop that murderous mindset, that looking down on you mindset, and that crusades mindset or whatever. Like Muslims had crusades too. Oh, you know what I'm saying? There's a few that didn't join wars and stuff, like the Baha'i, which is a gentle extension of Islam. But Jehovah's Witness is relatively gentle, but they still got their demons and their dark side too, though. You know what I'm saying? But it's more of a passive aggressive murderous mindset. We got to coin phrase that. You know that's dope, man.
Yeah.
It's more, you know how many times shit, man. I remember one time, man, Muncho, I was talking to Muncho and we was debating. He not on Facebook no more, but like years ago, we was debating on Facebook. And I said something. He's like, "You're just gonna die." You know, he said, "You're gonna die. You're gonna be food for the tomatoes." He literally said that. He literally said that, yo. You gonna
Yeah,
be food for tomato.
you still
Huh?
be seeing you still be seeing him. I don't see him no
Nah,
more.
I hear from him every night. You see him? Oh no,
Nah,
obviously he
I
does
never
self.
seen
Nah. He just, he's, you know what I'm saying? Like, not to speak on him, but that's a situation that works for him. He's married to somebody in that religion. He's had children with that person in the religion. So it's a lot harder to leave an organization. Like, it was easy for me to leave. I got no family, nothing like that. Just like it was easy for you because you were the only one in your family that was into it.
Yeah,
But when you
everybody
got
was
people
happy
that
when
are,
I left.
huh? Yeah.
He was happy when I left. Now they mad because everybody think I'm a Muslim for some reason. I don't know why.
You said they was happy when we left?
Well, when I left and I wasn't around it no more, like they didn't want me in it in the first place. So it's like he was
Oh,
sigh of relief. You know what I mean?
yeah. But damn, I was saying something. But yeah. As far as Montreal, like, yeah, it's harder to leave something when you have kids and you're paying bills, you got a family. But when we by ourselves, we could just bounce, man. Like my boy Keenan Jerome Floyd, shout out to Keenan, man. It's people like he was an elder in the religion. He was an elder and he was a missionary in the Dominican Republic. He got this joke. He was like, man, he said, I went to Dominican Republic to become a missionary. You know what I'm saying? Only problem is in the Dominican Republic, their religion is rum, weed, and big booty bitches. He said, and I was easily converted. You know what I'm saying? He said, he was like, I got off the airplane. It was a chick with a grass skirt and a coconut bra on one side, and another chick with a grass skirt and a coconut bra on the other side. And I was in the middle, and they took a picture with me, and he's like, I'm not gonna make it.
Oh, no, it's crazy. So,
but no, there was a point I'm saying that. But once he left the religion, he's an elder, born into it. He still talks to his family and stuff like that. But it's some people that they like their whole support system, their whole family, they're totally separated from it. They have nothing to fall back to. Like me, I broke from religion. I still got my mom to fall back on, different family members, stuff like that. But it's someone that says they don't have none of that, and it's pretty sad, man.
Yeah.
Based on some shit they can't prove, yo. Crazy, yo. But go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead. So I want to ask, what do you think is the meaning of life, and what do you think happens after death?
The meaning of life, the purpose of life, and I've said this earlier, the purpose of life is to shine as much as possible, man. You got star children, so you shine. You know what I'm saying? You try to leave your mark on the earth, whether you're a billionaire or you're the best hot dog griller on the planet. You show and you accept that. I don't believe in death in a traditional sense. I believe we transform. And we just do this process over and over again. In order for, and this is just what makes me feel comfortable. This is my personal religion. In order for reality to not be dreadful, because we live eternally, we constantly forget and we start over again. Man. We constantly forget and we just keep doing that. And that's the same thing that happens with stars. What happens with stars? They you know what I'm saying? They shine. They start as a little pin drop, as a black hole. They shine. They get real big. They expand. They turn red. They turn blue. And they implode back on itself. And it does the same thing. Implodes back on itself. And it does the same thing. Implodes back on itself. And it does the same thing. And that's what we do as human beings. The same thing. You're born. You get old. You die. You're born. You get old. You die. You know what I'm saying? What makes us so important that reality ends when we end?
Yeah.
What makes you so important? Because you die, it's all over. What the excuse my language? What the fuck make you that important, yo?
Right.
You was something before you came in. You was the sperm cells. You were the egg. You was your mother. You was your father. And all of a sudden, you live and you die. And you're so fucking special that reality ends because you die. No, fuck no. And that gives me comfort. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yes, it's kind of scary. Like not knowing what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying, in the future, but if we don't really know and we can't really prove it, why can't we have an opinion of what's going to happen? And if you're going to have an opinion of what's going to happen when it's over, why would you choose for that opinion to be negative? Or I'm going to burn forever. Or I'm going to come back as a roach. It's literally, it's your canvas. Like whatever you think is going to happen, it's literally your canvas of how you want to manifest it and create it. You know what I'm saying? So why have a negative mindset? You can't prove it. I can't prove it. You can't prove it. So why would you choose to? So why would you go? Why would you go with the negative? That's stupid.
I just read this book. It's an ancient Ethiopian book called the Lafafa Sedek, or the Bandlet of Righteousness. Right. It's a part where they describe hell and people being tortured. Man, that shit's so terrifying. I'm like, why would somebody believe? I'm like, this is people being pulled out of a lake of fire and the angels dump more fire on you and cut your head. I'm like, yo, why the hell would anybody believe it's gonna happen to you when you die? That's
You know
insane.
why? You know why? It's the same rate. It's the same way how I got you into the religion in the first place.
Yeah.
That fire, that brimstone, that Armageddon. You about to die. This is the thing, man. If parents never taught children that death was a bad, scary thing, people would move a lot different, when it comes to religion and things of that nature. A lot of us, we do this shit out of fear, so you scare them into it. See, there's a book called Dante's Inferno, right? The whole concept that we have of how we see hell with the fire and the pitchforks and all that shit, I can't remember exactly what it was, but Christianity predates that.
Right.
People, or just Judaism and all that shit. People just weren't really being easy converted. They started getting tired of the bullshit. So a lot of religious leaders like, we need different ways to influence these individuals to listen to these, to adhere to our religions. So that's when they started coming up with the fire and the brimstone. And it just sucks that the Bible, like the original Bible, has a story about Gehenna, which was a garbage dump. And in the garbage dump, like whenever the criminals were killed, they would throw their bones and their carcasses in the garbage dump, because their logic and their concept was, if you totally burn and annihilate somebody's body, there's no way that God could bring them back, like symbolically. And the people outside of Gehenna, when they would see that happen, they would hold on to the fence and they would gnash their teeth and they would be upset. You know what I'm saying? So when the Bible says, that's where the wailing and the gnashing of the teeth, they were comparing it to the Gehenna. And as far as like the worms and shit like that, it was a garbage dump. So little worms and things like that eating on the carcasses. But these people were dead. These people weren't alive when it was happening. And it's somehow, you know what I'm saying, whoever wrote Dante's Inferno saw that, and they just created this whole elaborate thing of what hell is, just to scare people into the religion, man. You know what I'm saying? If somebody has to scare you into something that's positive and beneficial in your life, how positive and beneficial is it? You shouldn't have to scare. It should just make sense. Like when I got into the witnesses, they didn't scare me into it. They just answered questions about whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's how I got into it. But if you gotta scare somebody into doing something that's quote unquote good, how good is it, man? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. True. Right. Yeah, if you got and they had whole classes. I look back on it now. They gave us whole classes on how to manipulate people. They all them Bible studies, them teaching us how to manipulate.
Yeah, it's teaching how to be con artists, man. I mean, you know what? We got a lot of beneficial stuff from witnesses, though, because I think it adhered to our comic book nature. Like the Bible is a comic book. You read it, it's no greater comic book on earth, man. That shit got dragons and angels and transforming trees and, all kinds of crazies, bringing people back from the dead and transforming fish. Is it making fish feed 1,000 people? Like, if that's not a comic book, I don't know what that's why it's crazy to be like, oh, you shouldn't watch these movies with violence and all that. I'm like, yo, man, the Bible got pedophilia, got rape, it got, incest, and you know what I'm saying, sending the dude's wife away, husband away so you could smash the wife. It got angels trying to have sex with it got people trying to have sex with male angels and all kinds of crazy stuff. Crazy. Yeah. There's literally a scripture, and I wish I remember, and it says fornication between the breasts. It literally talk about titty fucking in the Bible. I can't watch Sex in the City, but I can read about titty fucking and John, whatever. It's there. It's yo, you know what I'm saying? And that's just lighthearted. That's just light. How much other crazy stuff in there? But I can't watch The Matrix.
Yeah.
Because it's demonic or whatever. Like, come on, man. Get the fuck out of here.
I should have known I wasn't gonna last. I remember when I was about to get baptized, they gave me this paper with all the rules I had to follow.
Yeah.
The paper said you can't listen to hip hop music or heavy metal. I was like, what?
Yeah, you
can't
listen
to hip hop music and heavy metal.
Yeah, heavy metal. Yeah, you can't take heavy metal and hip hop from Dev. Hell no.
Hell no.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hell yeah, man. But you've been interviewing me, but like I said, this is a two-way thing, man. Mm-hmm. What do you see as your religion? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. Like, what do you view as your personal religion?
My personal religion, I think, is just is tapping into the God that exists within you. And the Bible says that God breathed the breath of life into man, the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit. So within us is a piece of God. So we have to clear away all this clutter and all this bullshit, all our trauma, all our negative tendencies, our addictions. We got to clear all that away so we can tap into that inner God. And we feel that inner God. We feel it. we feel it on a regular basis, but we brush it off, we ignore it. Like for instance, I got this thing that I started doing. But I started meditating a lot. I would get like this little voice telling me what to do. So like I'll be driving and something will be like, yo, don't go left, go right. And I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna go right. Boom, car accident. Damn. Like 3-4 times. I swear, 3-4 times. I'll be like, I was about to take a turn. Someone was like, don't go that way, go the other way. It's like, man, it's faster this way. I'm gonna hop on the highway. Boom, car accident. So now whenever I get that little voice saying, yo, don't take this car. Like the other night I was running to the store real fast. Something said, don't take your car, take your the other car. Took the other car, shot to the store real fast, came back, no issues. Don't know what it was. A lot of times when I listen to that voice, nothing happened. When I don't listen to the voice, it's always an issue.
Always happening, yeah.
One time I was driving home, little voice was like, yo, don't get in this lane. Go to the other lane. Why you driving so quick? Go to the other lane. I'm like, man, I'm going home. I'm about to book home fast as I can. Somebody came with a truck, ran me off the daggone road, almost crashed. Then I hopped out the whip. I looked at my car real fast. It was cool. So I'm like, you know how they got the highway, you got one side going this way, one side going the other way. Part in the middle that's grass. Well, one thing I realized, they make it like this, so you can't drive out of it. You gotta get pulled out of it. So I went down that little hill. I'm like, oh man, I get out of here. How can I get out of here? So I hop back in my car, trying to drive off. All of a sudden, a cop pulls up. This little timid black cop pulls up. He's like, hey, what's going on, guy? I'm like, another officer, got ran off the road, but it's okay. I'm about to go home. He's like, okay, fine, just be careful. Then all of a sudden, though, another cop on the other side pulled up. It was a white state trooper. The black cop seen him and got scared. Was like, oh my God, this guy's hard as nails. I'm out of here. How the cop gonna run? So the cop ran. Out of here. The white cop ran up on me like, where's your license and registration? Man, they took my car. They took my car. And my car wasn't registered. I had to pay for registration. I paid like $1,000. Paid like $1,000 to get my car back. If I had to just listen to that little voice, I would have been all right.
Yeah. If that little voice is telling you something that's beneficial for you, always listen to it.
Yeah.
Always listen to it. Because if nothing happens, whatever, nothing happens. Yeah, but exactly. if it's right, you know what I'm saying, then you fucked up, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, hell yeah. Yep. So but we're kind of similar, because you said each of us has a piece of God in us, and I said we are smaller manifestations of this greater, higher source. So we're pretty much on the same kill. And I said, like, you know, the purpose of life is to shine as much as possible. Like whatever art or talent or gift or personality trait, whatever you has, you know, try to express that as much as possible. So like we're kind of similar as far as, you know, as far as that.
A lot of our beliefs are similar, man. We kind of same thing.
Yeah. But what about as far as like death though? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like once you die, what's your belief on that?
Same as yours in many ways. I don't believe in death. I believe that we just transition from one form to another. I think that, and this is my own personal opinion because I had certain experiences, I think that individuals who reach a certain state of development and consciousness will have a different death experience from individuals who do not. I think some individuals, you know, there's a Hindu story about how individuals who the goddess death is Kali. So when you're about to die, Kali comes for you. If you made peace within yourself and you're happy within yourself, and you see the goddess Kali, she appears and she's beautiful, long hair, black skin, beautiful face, beautiful body, and she'll embrace you. If you're afraid to die and you haven't healed, you haven't dealt with what you have to deal with, then when Kali appears, she appears as a demon. And so death is this horrible, terrifying thing. And I think that, because I've had experiences where I astral projected and went to, you know, higher levels of consciousness, right? And I think that once you heal, you'll get reincarnated, but in other forms. You'll ascend, I believe, to higher levels of consciousness, higher levels of being that are more rarefied. And I think that for individuals to get reincarnated in the physical world, you'll be reincarnated strictly on the physical level. You know, very
similar.
Yeah,
very similar. Yeah, when you said Kali, all I could think of was Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
Kali Ma.
Yeah.
Kali Ma, Shakti.
Yeah.
Kali Ma.
And now that I'm
they
old,
be having some truth. They be having truth in movies, though. You know.
Yeah. I'm now that I'm old, I realize how racist that movie was. Now I didn't even know when I was a kid. It was so ill. It was so fun.
Yo, it was so fun. It's still, to me, it's one of the greatest movies of all time. Yo, it just got elements. It just got elements of everything. It's such a great movie. Like how it starts on some, you know what I mean? Like, I guess he's trying to steal some diamonds and shit, and then it just transformed into this religious underground. Like, it just went totally left field, man. It is dope,
totally
man.
left field. Yeah,
that was when I was a kid, that was my favorite movie of all time. But
me too.
now, so we're definitely religious, we're definitely similar. And everything that you said, yes, you read about these things or whatever, but ultimately you can't prove any of it. You can't really prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. It's your opinion, but it's a positive opinion, and you're not knocking other people because they don't feel the way you feel. You're not saying, "Oh, y'all stupid if you don't believe like in Kali and all this." But no, you're just like, "This is how I feel," and if you rock with it, just like how I feel, even though our religious beliefs are similar. But if you talk to a lot of cats that think like we do, a lot of us kind of drew these similar conclusions. And nobody told me this shit. It's just literally just living life and experience. And it was like, yo, you know what? This is what makes the most sense to me, and this is what I'm comfortable with, you know. So this is what I'm going to rock with, and I'm not knocking nobody else like for what they believe. I mean, yeah, I get aggravated at dumbass Christians and stuff, but I'm talking about the ones that are judgmental and the ones that are destructive towards other people. I have a problem with that, but ultimately, that's just how they feel. I don't really combat or debate as much as I used to. It's just a waste of time, yo. You know what I'm saying? You can talk until you're blue in the face and try to convert people, whatever, you know what I'm saying, with your words, but you know, you just live your life. And I think people would naturally gravitate to you that have a similar, similar philosophies and ideologies that you do. You don't got to convince nobody of shit, yo. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. And also too, like I want to point out too, I draw from a lot of different wells. So when I talk about Kali, I don't believe in no goddess named Kali coming and turn into a demon. But these are just symbolic representations of the mindset of somebody that's going to die. And I think it's important that people understand that these religious texts and these terms is all symbology. It's symbolizing different mindsets, different levels of consciousness, different spiritual practices. And a lot of definitely astral theological is talking about the movement of the heavens and all of that kind of stuff. And I think when people take it too literally, that's the issue. Some individuals can't think in an abstract sense. They can't think in a symbolic sense. They take everything literal, and that makes it so that's where the ignorance and the violence comes from. When you have this idea that it has to be literal, like when you read in the Quran that the Prophet Muhammad flew from Jerusalem to Mecca in one night on a donkey with wings. You know what I mean? Like that's obviously symbolic. That obviously is symbolic. It don't mean he literally did it. But some individuals they have to take it literally. They can't see it being a symbol for something else.
Yeah, definitely, man. Hell yeah, man. Well, we've been going. Go.
Yeah. Well, like Jesus raising Lazarus, you think that's literal, not understanding that it's talking about a person with knowledge raising somebody who's mentally dead.
Yo, that's a major story that trips up mostly all Christians, yo, the Lazarus story. Because they talk about the wages of sin is death, right? So if Lazarus died and he was brought back to life, his wage was paid. Why isn't Lazarus still alive? Nobody killed him.
Yeah, it's true.
That destroys the entire religion.
Yeah, that's true.
That one instance right there, it destroys everything. Well, he brought so it's like so was he not dead? Was he in a coma? Because if you say that, then okay, he was in a coma, so I get that. No, they say he was straight up dead.
Yeah, dead.
And Lazarus wasn't the only person that was brought back to life. I think Moses brought some people back to life besides Lazarus, perform miracles.
Prophet Elijah, when he threw his bones in the dead valley, somebody touched the bones and came back to life.
And then the Jesus story, didn't the same story happen in the Old Testament too with Elijah or Moses, somebody like it was like almost identical. It was almost similar.
It may have. I gotta look it up.
It repeated itself. But
Lazarus story.
But when you look at the Lazarus story, like he died. Like the Bible clearly says the wages of sin is death. Lazarus died. Lazarus was brought back to death. Lazarus should still be alive. He's not.
It's true.
It seems like a lot of these are like, huh? What was that? Unless Lazarus really it's that nigga seaweed, man.
I'll come back together now.
Yeah. Hold up. You know what? Oh, we got the share button. Let me show you my boy Seaweed. Just so you can see, man. Let me share this with you real quick. So I'm gonna share this sound, and let me see what's going on right here. Let me share those. Hold on. This is funny. No, this is just a whiteboard. Hold on. Let me because that's why I wanted to show like the share capabilities and all that fun stuff. So let me bring him up real quick. The homie Seaweed real quick, man. This is funny. But this is the cat, like one of the main reasons why I stopped doing religion. Hold on, Facebook. Like he got a strange name though. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Kabaka Zakwan. You know what does Kabaka mean? You know what I mean?
I have no idea.
Yeah, this dude deep as hell, man.
Mm-hmm.
This is my ninja. All right, this seaweed right. Hold on. All right, and then I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna where's the share? Share screen. Bang. Share. That's the brother seaweed right there, man.
Oh, okay. I never met him before though.
Yeah, but I used to always talk about him though. Like, but that,
about him. Yeah,
that's like this cat right here. Hold on, I'm trying to see if we got another pic. But you see the type of shit he on though, MF Doom and shit. Yeah, like they would be smoking weed on the roof, and I never smoked back then or whatever, but they would be smoking and just getting deep. But that's the elder right there. That's on right there, man. That's the man. See, he looked like some type of shaman, right?
Yeah.
He kind of looked like you a little bit, to be honest with you. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got similarities, man. Yeah, hell yeah, man.
I got that face. I got my face look like everybody else.
Yeah, you do.
Somebody who look like me. Everybody.
Yeah, but shout out to the homie Seaweed, man. My boy Cedric, that's his government. Now I'll say his yeah, man. But hell yeah, I'm gonna stop the share. But it's cats like that. He was very instrumental in my development, like in my growth, man. It's breaking his like the catechism, like breaking his religious mindset, man. You know what I mean? So
right.
But I think we pretty much, we could talk on this stuff for hours. You know what I'm saying? And
I got to check on my seat anyway.
Yeah. No. We had a good chat. It was a good chat with homie Devin McCrory from the Wellness Initiative, and this is comedian Mo Green. Sometimes it ain't always about the jokes. Sometimes we get deep. I think we should do this spiritual thing more in the future, but like today we use like a broad range. Right, I think we should take like a specific. Like one day we just only gonna talk about hell.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
One day we just only talk about angels.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and just really go. These are conversations that we've been having for 30 years. You know what I'm saying? But now to like put them out on Front Street for others to take in, and then who knows, we might touch somebody in a positive way. It might give them some answers or just give them some type of direction. Right, what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? Give them some type of direction. I'm with it. I'm with it if you with it. If you want to do this,
yeah, absolutely.
I feel like because I'm going to put this on my momentary podcast. And you can put it on yours or whatever. You call it whatever. I'm gonna call it whatever. Are you recording?
Yeah, recording. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, because I gave you permission to record and stuff. Yeah, so you can take that, chop it up. Like I think the beginning from this vid is not that long. I think once I got it started here the second time, the video is not that long. But I think on my Facebook and my and my YouTube, it was like 30-40 minutes before I got started. Yeah. Terrible, but I could edit that. That's no thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but much blessings to you, yeah, much blessings to you, man. And we're gonna keep doing this and just keep putting out this information whenever we got quote unquote new light, as the witnesses say, or new breakthroughs or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think this is our Sunday sermon, man. We should do this. We should do this every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? And even with your wellness initiative, if for your own personal platform, if you want to do some stuff other days and a topic that you want to talk about, we can do that too. And if you want to talk about it don't always got to be super deep. One day we could just talk about some pop culture stuff like Kanye West dealing with issues with Pete Davidson and how to get over when your significant other moves on, but you got kids and stuff. Like that's something that what I'm saying. So it's so much that we could talk about. And, I think we are doing ourselves a disservice by only having the conversation with ourselves. So we can have it on a bigger platform because we can help other people and we can monetize it. That's all I'm saying. That being said, man, had a good time. I'll holler at you, Dev, man.
Peace, my brother.
Be safe, man. Take care, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Peace.